blah. So I'm literally sitting on our floor while doing this vlog because I think I'm more comfortable in this kind of position than my usual one. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jolaine. If you're new here, hello. And if you've come back, thank you so much. This video might be quite long, but but I know this might be mundane, but I want to celebrate the day I joined the book community. And I never regretted it. And on this day last year, I become part of the book community, specifically the one that started on TikTok. To celebrate, I'm sharing book recommendations and the reasons I fell in love with reading. So, if you're looking to start your reading journey but don't know where to begin, let me help you by sharing the books that got me hooked. So, first, let's talk about the reason why I decided to join the book community. And then I'll share the books that got me hooked. But if you find me boring and you want to skip to the book recommendations, feel free to click on the chapters I created for you. So first, let's talk about what inspired me to join the book community. So one of the reasons I joined the book community was to expand my vocabulary. I feel like my vocabulary is quite small, and not that it's a bad thing. I believe basic language is fine, especially since English is not my first language. However, as a work from home mom whose clients are mostly from the US and other countries, I wanted to improve my English for professionalism. Second is I wanted to boost my creativity. You know, while working from home is a relief, it can get boring after work. And to be honest, I'm a very crafty person, but I was looking for more hobbies. Apparently, crochet, diamond painting, and journaling are great, but they weren't enough to keep my brain engaged. So I did some research on ways to spark creativity, and I found that reading can help improve imagination. And it's true, now reading and buying more books has become my main hobby. Not the healthiest for my wallet, but at least it makes me happy. But lastly, I wanted to look and feel smart. I'm not sure why. Was that one of my reasons? But those are the reasons why I joined the book community. And did I have any doubts before joining the book community? Not one bit and not the slightest. I might spend most of my money on books and everything related to them, but I've never had doubts or regrets because when I started reading, I found a new family, the Bookish Bunch Book Club. My book club isn't just a book club, it's a sisterhood. We don't just talk about books, we talk about everything, no judgment, and just full on support and advice. And since most of the books I read are from TikTok or BookTok, let's talk about that for a bit, shall we? So let's start with how I discovered BookTok. Before I really got into reading, I tried self help books, and this was around the same time last year, 2024. Anyways, I gave them a shot, but they never really got me into reading. At that time, I wasn't even into TikTok and had no idea the book talk community existed. I already had the app though, but it never crossed my mind to use it to find books. So instead, I opened Safari or Google Chrome and searched for books for beginners. And honestly, I don't know why I use those exact words. Maybe just because I really had no idea where to start. But hey, it is what it is. Then I stumbled upon some TikTok videos on my browser, which led me to start looking for books on TikTok. And that's how I discovered BookTok and eventually met my sisters who are now part of my book club. And I think this is another very controversial question or phrase, or I don't know what this is, but I think it's quite famous on TikTok or all over social media on how BookTok has influenced book popularity and publishing trends. So, I just wanted to give my opinion to everyone or to anyone who's watching this, because just I want to share it. But with that being said, with TikTok being so mainstream right now, I see a lot more people getting into reading. And honestly, I don't care if they're reading because of the hype or just for entertainment. What matters is that people are picking up books again. I'm not saying books, ever stopped being important, but with new technology and digital content, I feel like they were being ignored. Nowadays, so much information is easily accessible on the internet. So for me, this trend is a good thing. And I actually remember the first time I saw someone reading a book on a train. I think I even included a glimpse of it in one of my vlogs. And I was so, happy seeing someone reading on a train. But with that being said, I think the BookTok community has its pros and cons. So now we're gonna go to the book recommendations. Most of these books are the ones that really got me into reading. I didn't give all of these 5-star reads, but I really do enjoy all of them. And I think this is good for someone who wanted to test the waters on trying to get hooked with books or with reading, or wanted to be a book collector, or just want to spend money on books. This first book that I will show you is from a very controversial author. Um, Readers may or may not like her, but I do like her work because it's very relatable, and it's just nice to see that in those kind of situation, there's like good endings in those books. And I know a lot of readers mentioned that all of her books and characters are very toxic, but I like it because it's very relatable. I relate, and some of the things happen in her book actually did happen to me. And to be honest, I understand why other readers think it's toxic or romanticizing something. It's because I think, in my opinion, they haven't experienced those things. But for someone who experienced the things that happened in the books that was written by Colleen Hoover, would definitely know that it's kind of inspiring because of how strong these people or these characters in her book were able to survive the situation that happened in their life. Because let's be honest, some of her books are very relatable to real life. But with that being said, here's the book I recommend from Colleen Hoover that really got me into reading. So first you have to read It Ends With Us and then It Starts With Us. Now, I don't want to make this video super long, so I might not give some synopsis about the books, but this is about a abusive relationship, on how getting out of a abusive relationship, childhood love. Is that right? Yeah, childhood love, and a lot of things actually. So like I said, this was a lot of readers said that it was being romanticized, but I don't see that that's the point of this book. But it's up to you. It's, better for you to try and read it and then give your opinion about it. It's actually nice to hear other people's opinion. So wanted to know what's your comment about this. And after reading this, oh, and by the way, it's just that it's kind of, there's just like this very long diary entry for Ellen DeGeneres. So you can actually skip that part if you want, but there's actually good bits in that. So yeah, but it's quite long. And next is It Starts With Us. So this is like more of a happy ending for the female main character and her childhood first love. So that's is this book. It's a good book. This is like more of a happy kind of book, not the first one. So yeah. And again, a lot of people may or may not like this book, but for me, I liked it, and this is the reason why I really got into reading and made me want to try other books. Now, another book that I read from Colleen Hoover that I also wanted to recommend is Ugly Love. Um, this is about, there's actually a lot of emotions, mixed emotions that I felt for this book. But I am so sorry, I forgot the story of this book. But I really like it. This is like one of my 5-star reads last year, I think. It's a really good book, but a lot of readers didn't like it for another reason, because there's like a comment in this part that other people or readers doesn't really like. For me, I understand that comment just because I have two kids, and I did say that with them because it's just shocking for me. But then again, it's not for everyone, and you won't be able to understand that kind of comment if you're not a mom of boys yet. So, yeah. Next is this book is the very first thriller book I have read, and this is the reason why I wanted to read more thriller books, horror or psychological thriller or whatsoever. And that's Verity from Colleen Hoover as well. This is so crazy, it actually fucked me up for days. I think Colleen Hoover is making a movie for this book. So I am so excited about that. I might reread this, but this is also a good fucked up book. If you want to get fucked up, then read this. Um but before reading it, make sure to check for trigger warnings, because there's a lot of things in here that a lot of readers doesn't like as well, which is quite understandable. And again, all of Colleen Hoover books are, most of them are my favorite. I do have Her Heart Bones as well, and Regretting You. I like them as well, but these are the ones that got me into reading. And if you read it and you think you don't like it, please let me know why. Let's talk about it. I'm not going to encourage or tell you to like her, but let's just talk about our experiences reading the book. Let's just talk. Not, I don't know, just talk. Next is, I think this is like a lot of kids, a lot of readers my age read when they were younger, but I'm not a reader when I was a kid, so I don't have any chance of getting my hands on this series. But growing up, I love the movie, so I decided to get the books when I really got into reading. So that's the Hunger Games series. I really like this book, especially the movies. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. It's by Susan Collins, by the way. So I really liked it, and one of my most anticipated reads from her new book, which is Sunrise of the Reaping, which I haven't had my hands on it yet because I'm broke. Your girl doesn't have any work, so we just have to stay here for a while. But hopefully, we'll get that soon. Sponsored by my loving husband. My birthday is on May, so hopefully he'll get that for us. But that's one of the books I wanted to recommend, and I also highly recommend reading books, you know, like movies or series that was based on a book, because I think it's not very overwhelming for you because you already know what's gonna happen. But yeah, maybe I'll give the tips later on. Next is, this is like all over my TikTok when I started reading last year, and I was so excited when I was able to get a deal from one of the sellers on TikTok who gave me the chance to get it. Um in, let's say, kind of a installment payment, in a way that, I own it, they just have to fully pay for it. You know how it works. I don't have to explain that. But it's the Twisted series by Anna Huang. Now I really love this book, this series technically, especially Twisted Hate. I realized that I am a fan of a enemies to lovers kind of trope book. So I really love that. I really enjoyed it. And I love all of the characters in this book. The way Anna Huang um write this mixed emotions about the characters. They're very likable. They're very frustrating. It might make you cry and all that. But there's also spicy parts in these books. So beware of that. If you wanted to get into spicy parts, then I think you should also start with Huang Twisted series. I think she also have other books. I have other books of her, like I think King of Sins. I do have one of her book in that series, and I have The Striker. I haven't read that yet, but I'm quite excited about that. I actually have a lot of books in here, and my phone is almost out of memory. Storage rather. So, what are we going to do about that? I don't know. Okay. Next is, remember I mentioned I am really into psychological thriller, horror, or whatsoever kind of books. The next book that really got me into that kind of genre or whatsoever is Pretty Girls by Karin Slaughter. Now, this book is very gory, very detailed stuff of death, murder, whatever you said. There's dark web and all that stuff. So before reading this, please do check for the trigger warnings. But I really love this. I really enjoyed it. It's very scary. It got me at the edge of my seat. My heart is pounding while reading it. This is a 5 star for me. And if anyone asks me what kind of thriller book, psychological thriller would you recommend, I will always recommend Pretty Girls by Karin Slaughter. And Karin Slaughter is so, what do you call this? She's so nice. You know, every time I post a video, anything on my Instagram, she always reposts it. She even comments on some of my posts. So I really like that. And I do have her complete collection. Not really complete collection, but I do have most of the books that she released. I went above and beyond searching those books. I went crazy just finding those books. So it's just that I haven't read them yet just because of how scared I was with this book. I even dreamt about it. The plot twist and all that. Like I said, others may or may not like the book. They might think that it's not a good one, it's predictable, it's just something that they don't like. That's fine. People have different tastes and different opinion, but for me, I just really like this. And if you're able to read Verity, you can read this too. Okay, I just like it. Next, for my thriller ones is, I really like this, but again, look for trigger warnings. This is The Ice Cream Girls by Dorothy Koomson. Now, this is a good book. However, this book is about like pedophiles, groomers, um, murder, and stuff like that. But again, please check for the trigger warnings before reading it. But if you're not into any of the thrillers that I'm recommending, just go ahead and skip it. You don't have to. But if you're someone who wanted to get into that, start with those books. There are other books that are quite gory or scarier than that, but that's for another video. But another book I wanted to recommend, I have mentioned earlier that reading the Twisted series by Huang, I discovered that I love enemies to lovers. So, the next book I am going to recommend is by Lynn Painter, Better Than the Movies. And I really love this. I love Lynn Painter's writing. She's amazing. She's also nice. You know, when you post something on Instagram, she's gonna repost it. She's gonna like it as well. And I just can't say anything about this book. It's enemies to lovers. I really love it. It's childhood love. Um, he fell first, she fell harder, something kind of that area. And I really like this. I do have the second book. I forgot the title. It's, what's the second book? But there is a second book. So this is better than the movies. I think nothing, I don't know. I'll check it later. But this is one of the books I also recommend. And Another romance book that I wanted to recommend that I will always, always, always recommend is The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is a magical realism, kind of a not time travel, but it's like a magical apartment and it's very magical. I really love it. The love story, the ending, and all that. It's very amazing. I really love this. I like Ashley Poston's writing, and as I have mentioned with one of my reading vlogs, Ashley Poston give this giggles inside of me in every small details. Like every small details matter in real life as well. And reading that in a book and giving this kind of feeling makes me know let me know that it actually do exist. It's not just me who feels it, but everyone. So I do recommend this as well. um I really love this book. I wish I can give more synopsis about the books, but my phone storage is not cooperating today, so we'll just it's up to you if you wanted to follow all these book recommendations. But these are the books that really got me into reading, and I really love this. And I finished A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, I think last March. But unfortunately, it's not magical as this one. But this is magical, so read it. It's a good book, it's a must read. Next is this is I think my very first dark romance book, and I do have the almost complete collection of this book. I really enjoyed it, and it's Dark Succession by Katie Robert. Now I do have the rest of the series of this book. This is a series. This is a mafia romance, fixed marriage, arranged marriage, but it's not super duper mega ultra dark. But it's a little bit of a dark romance where you will enjoy the romance as well. So I really love this. I didn't give this 5 stars, but it's a good book. I really like Katie Robert. I do have the rest of her books that I think I will read. I believe this is the O'Malley series. I do have plans probably reading that on June or July. I don't know yet, but we should read it. I'm quite excited to get my hands on this book. So, this is not super dark and all that. The romance is very cute. I really love it. The spiciness is not overwhelming. I just love it. The mafia thing, I also love it. Also, there's a little bit of a banter in this book that I'm not a fan of it, but it's cute. It's cute. So yeah. If you really want to get into super duper dark romance, this is the book that I will recommend. And this is the last book that we are going to talk about for today. But I I don't know if I should recommend this. I think readers will criticize me for recommending this, but I really like this and I do have plans on rereading this book. And it's The Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton. And if you know what that is, it's Hunting Adeline, that's book 1, and Hunting Adeline. And if you're someone who doesn't like, who doesn't like a cliffhanger on the books and wanted to read the second book right away, I recommend you getting it both because the first book do end in a cliffhanger. So you have to read the second book right away because that's what I did. But um just a warning to please do check the trigger warnings of this book because it's very triggering. There's a lot of things in this book: human trafficking, pedophile, and all that stuff. But this is about um, a vigilante who stalks Adeline. So that's with the first book, but the second book is more of a dark web kind of vibes. It's like super dark. This is the super dark romance I read. The very first super dark romance. I can't stop saying super because it's super dark. And I think a lot of readers will tell you that you're unhinged if you like it and read it. I don't and just give me the title. I'm unhinged. I like it. And why am I recommending it? I don't know because I want to. Um this is one of the books. This is one of the reasons that got me into dark romance. Unfortunately, I don't have any other dark romance aside from 50 Shades of Grey that I really don't like and the O'Malley series. For some reasons, I it's not that I can't and I don't want to buy it. It's just dark romance are very expensive, especially if you're in the Philippines. It's quite in demand. So, it's hard to get it. It's hard to find it. And if you're able to find it, it's expensive. So, I got these things. Most of these are secondhand books. Some of these are secondhand books. So I was able to got them in a cheaper price. Same thing with my Hunting Adeline book. It's a secondhand book and it's cheap. But that's all the books I read that really got me hooked into reading. Now, like I mentioned, and I am not going to stop saying this, that please do check the trigger warnings for some of the books that I have mentioned earlier. It can be really triggering, and fine, I'll take the blame if you got triggered or whatsoever. But I really enjoyed this book, and I just wanted to share with you guys the books that really got me into it and why I am so into reading now. So those are the books that really got me into reading, and some of them may or may not be for you, but I still highly recommend giving them a try. If you do, feel free to share your thoughts with me in the comments below. I'd love to hear different opinions. And one piece of advice, if you are getting hesitant about getting into reading or you feel overwhelmed, I recommend starting with books that have live adaptations or movies. That way, you already have an idea of what to expect and it won't feel as intimidating. Plus, it's fine to compare the book with the movie. Sometimes the book has hidden gems that you wish were included in the film. But with that being said, try reading one book at a time until you get hooked. Because reading serves many purposes, from education and self improvement to relaxation and entertainment. It's a powerful tool that can shape minds, emotions, and even entire lives. So, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and I'll see you in my next one.